A lot of the agents, especially the newer agents, they are afraid that their sphere might ask them some questions they may not have an answer for. Whether you're new or not, the underlying message here is we do not systematically work our sphere nearly as good as we should. Wherever you're working, there are plenty of past clients that are not being worked. Adopt them as your sphere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Level Up Podcast with myself, Greg Harrelson. This is where I focus on taking you from agent to entrepreneur. As you know, I have a passion for developing agents. And on today's episode, I'm going to share another quick strategy on how you can increase your production. I'm going to be real, so you be ready. Let's level up.
Hey everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here. I'm with my co-pilot Abe Safa, and we're here to talk about another topic on real estate. One of the conversations we've been having recently, we deal with a lot of newer agents, and where do agents find their first deals? And I say newer agent because I think of a new licensee and happen to find a first deal. But the reality is there's agents that are trying to figure out how to find a deal themselves. And just want to talk about that. Like, where do agents find their first deal? So Abe, kick us off. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's always one of the toughest ones, right? Yeah, tracking that first man. Yeah.
Oh, well, by the way, wasn't your first deal a mobile home?
It was.
Was it without land even?
No, it was with land.
Okay.
It wasn't my first listing. It was my second listing, but it was the first one that sold.
Okay, got it. Yeah. It's just funny when I think about first deals and how many people, that I know that their first deal was a mobile home without land. I don't know how they attract that. And then all of a sudden it's like, man, that's the hardest deal you could have. But once you get through that, then it's like everything's good.
For that first deal, I was willing to take anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We just want to go through the process. Right. And for those of you listening, I hope you hear that. It's like, man, for the first deal, I just wanted to, I'll take anything. Not only for the money, just for the process, the learning process.
Yeah, the whole process. I learned so much from that first deal.
Yeah. In agents, that's where they're so tense, right? They make a commitment. They tell their spouse, oh, I'm getting into real estate and this is going to be great. And then they get into training. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. And then all of a sudden, there's so much time on average that goes by before somebody does a deal. Stress kicks in, doubt kicks in. Their spouse starts to, well, when are you going to start making some money? Now more stress starts kicking in. And so we know if we want to help agents get into this business and build careers, we got to help them get their first deal. And preferably, we'd like that to be in less than 90 days, hopefully less than 60 days. So what's on your mind? Where can somebody get their first deal?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I was going to start brand new right now. I think the first is you've got to reach out to your sphere.
Yeah.
You got to let the world know that you're in the business.
Yes.
All right. So I think it starts there, letting everybody know. I know when I first started, you wanted me to take everyone that I knew that was in my cell phone and reach out to everybody and let them know.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in a new career. This is what I'm doing. Would love to be of any help to you or anybody else that you know. So I think it starts there. That might be one of the quickest and easiest way to break into it.
I'm just pausing because I'm trying to think of what to say about this because I have in my mind is, how many agents that I brought into this business that won't do that? They just don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and so I think we should address that for a moment because I do agree. Your centers of influence, your sphere, they all are happy that you're starting a new career. They're willing to support you, and most of those agents don't reach out to them. Now, I would say that some of the reasons why they don't reach out is because they don't want to act or they don't want anyone to feel like they're desperate. They don't want anyone to feel like they need business. They don't want to sell to their friends. But I think the underlying issue is that a lot of the agents, especially the newer agents, they are afraid that their sphere might ask them some questions they may not have an answer for. You agree with that?
100% agree. Yeah, and I think it's the fear of not looking qualified to that find those fear. Like what I mean, why are they going to hire me? First of all, I'm brand new to this business. What if they ask me something I don't have the answer to? Things like that. It wasn't too long after that. I just thought of it right now. Maybe it's 4 months into the business, a good friend of mine called me up and he said he was buying a house, and at that point, I think it was like a $500,000 house. And he said, "Look, I got your email, I got your text. I know you're in the business now. I know you're brand new, and I wanted to help you. Yeah, I want to buy this home. Will you write the offer for me?" So like just the fact, like, and it wasn't like I'm not the type that's going to reach out and ask for the business, like say, hey, go with me. But I did reach out and say, look, I'm in the business now. If there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know. Or if you know anyone else that needs some help, just keep me in mind. And it was that.
Yes.
And if you say that to enough people, there's going to be people that are going to give you business. So the fact that, the fear that, hey, I don't want to go out there and ask for it. It's all in your head. It's not something you have to really go out there and beg for or ask for. Just put yourself out there.
Yeah. And so it's as simple as, like you said, you shoot off an email, shoot off a text. Everybody, we should shoot off a text. Just say, hey, and quite frankly, whether you're new or not, I think the underlying message here is we do not systematically work our sphere nearly as good as we should. I think everybody listening to this right now, every single one of us should take our sphere list and just sit down and text, maybe send a video text, at least a just normal text. Text 10 a day until between now and the end of the year, or until you get through the entire list, and just say, hey, just wanted to touch base with you. We're entering into fall. A lot of us are going to start thinking about 2026 and what we want to accomplish. And I was just kind of curious to see what your real estate goals are going to be for 2026. Tell me, what are you thinking? That text right there will get you such a great response.
And that's not salesy. That's not begging for business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, there's one way you can get some business. What's another way somebody can get their first deal?
I'm thinking, like, obviously, I mean, my favorite is going to be hitting the phones, right? But that's going to take some time to build up. So we'll circle back to that in a little bit. Yeah. I'm thinking of quick ways. How can you get a quick sale? And the quickest way, I think, is work with a buyer.
Yes.
Like go to your broker, go to your team leader and say, okay, look, can I get some buyer leads? And the quickest way to get a deal and get a check is actually go with a buyer, because that can happen instantly. You go in one show and they can write an offer, can get accepted. 30 to 45 days, you've got a deal, you've got a check. As opposed to with listings, it takes a little bit of time. You got to nurture, you got to get it on the market, you got to get it pending. So by no means am I saying don't go after listings. Do that, but in the meantime, work a couple of buyers. If you try to be a listing agent, work some buyers early on just to get some experience, get some deals under your belt.
That's right. We're talking about their first deal, or if somebody's looking to create a jumpstart, they want to like jumpstart their business really quick, then, I mean, it's very rare. I guess it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe just in my world, it's rare. Maybe not in the real world of real estate, but I was going to say it's very rare that there's real estate companies out there that don't have thousands of leads to be able to give their agents. I'm probably wrong at that. It's probably rare that happens, but teams and brokerages that really focus on lead generation, buying online leads and whatnot, they typically have thousands of leads that any agent could go in, they call it the pond, could go in and spend 2 to 3 hours a day working on those lists and talking to those people, calling those people, talking to those people. If you spent 3 hours a day for 3 days in a row, it would be very hard to not find business. There are people still in the market. They just haven't landed on the property, of their dreams yet. Get into conversation with them. So it's an easy way for you to find business. Another one is the past clients of a company will have, in every company you go into, there's files of people that we've done business with in the past that the agents no longer either in the business or no longer in the company, and they're past clients of the team or the past clients of the company. Go out and treat them like they're your sphere also. So for some of you think, well, I just kind of moved into this market and I started real estate, so I don't have a sphere. Oh no, Wherever you're working, there are plenty of past clients that are not being worked. Adopt them as your sphere. Communicate with them. There's another source of opportunities there. I'm going to actually switch gears here, Abby, and say, okay, well, where should somebody not try to find their first deal? You know, and so, you know, maybe there could be some disagreements on this amongst the audience, but I don't think like somebody coming in and jumping on expireds on day one, I don't think that is a great way to find a first deal. I think it's a great way to get extremely discouraged about ever making a call again. I think that you have to have more reps, more skill building, more time understanding the conversations before you go there. What are your thoughts on that?
I 100% agree. That's like not being a runner and going out there and the first thing you do is sprint without warm up, without stretching, you're going to pull a muscle.
Yeah,
Go as far as you can pull your hamstring. Exactly. You're going to get destroyed going to expires. Now, I love expireds, right?
Yes.
We all do. We know how much business can be generated from them, but not as a brand new agent. I typically tell agents don't touch it for at least 6 months.
Yes. Yeah. You got to get skilled. Is there another thought on your mind of another place that's...
Yeah, I mean, open houses is another great way. You know, your company's got listing, agents in your office have listings. Just, you know, do an open house. You gotta start building momentum as quickly as possible. And sometimes we think, okay, well, the open house, I'm only going to talk to 3-4 people. It's a start. 3-4 people and then 3 more people. Like you said, Greg, there's no way you could come across 60 people and not find a deal.
Yeah.
It's just a
Morgan, Abe, she just got her license, right? Just got in the business. And in the first, I don't know, I'm going to say a week, but let me just give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was 10 days, but I think it was less than 7 days. Calling the pond and already put a $600,000 property under contract, ratified. Calling the pond. It wasn't a lead given to her, wasn't a new lead. This is an old lead. Remember, all old leads are like future new leads, right? Like, so somebody that's like old in our database is going to be new in somebody else's database because these buyers are still active. And it just goes, it's like somebody brand new gets a license and in the first week, no longer than 10 days, has a $600,000 plus sale ratified because they just called the ponds. So these things work.
You know, early on in your business, just getting in there, get some momentum going. An open house, I think, would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good. Well, hey, everybody. You know, Abe and I are committed to do this on a weekly basis. Very seldom do we miss unless one of us is out of town or in a flight or something like that. But we want to bring these tips to you. So we're going live on YouTube. We're also putting this on the Level Up podcast. So please hit the subscribe button. And Abe just put up there to join Agent Success Academy. Agent Success Academy is a coaching program that Abe and I have. And we're really diving deep in all the different subjects and training topics that you can imagine, whether it's price reductions for people that have a lot of listings and need to create some sales, whether it's pricing property, listing presentations, negotiations, follow-up, lead generation, expireds. We got expired mastery programs, FSBO mastery conversations. We really do deep dives in each one of these subjects and show you how. This is a how-to kind of masterclass type of group coaching. And it's weekly, inexpensive, but I do suggest that you check out Agent Success Academy. And when you see this video, look in the description and there'll be a link there. So, Abe, thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.